And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We've got a great lineup for you today. Mike Murphy back in studio with us. Murphy Auto Group in the house. Genesis of Tampa Bay. We also have Daniel White joining us, SSW Insurance Agency. Going to talk a lot about insurances here today. Also, housing affordability. The Trump administration making some major moves to help increase affordability right here in Tampa Bay and, of course, throughout the nation with access to 401k without being taxed. So early access to your 401ks for down payments. Also, we talked about institutional buyers banning some of the big Wall Street firms from buying up Main Street. That's good news for first-time buyers, veterans, and pretty much anybody that wants to make a move in real estate who's kind of been sidelined a little bit with higher interest rates, still coming off of that terrible Biden economy, the economic disaster that was left behind just over a year ago when Trump took office. So we're in a good place now. A lot of good stuff happening. A lot of billionaires leaving California, too, now, of course, with the billionaire tax. So we'll talk about that. Also, Mike Murphy is going to talk about his charity of the month here in Tampa Bay, supporting women's sports right here in Tampa Bay. Genesis also has a couple of awesome offers right now, lease payoffs and things of that nature. And big news also, Hyundai building a plant, and we'll talk about the economic impact of that that's happening here in the great United States of America. And before we do, a couple of hot listings. We always like to feature our real estate properties live on air, and it's part of a strategy that helps our sellers sell faster for more money with less headaches, maximizing the exposure and the profit on the sale of our real estate listings. We've got a couple of hot listings here. Let's look at our newer listing here. We've got a duplex for sale on 47th Street in Tampa. This is 8415 North 47th Street. A great opportunity. You got a duplex here, affordable property, quarter-acre lot, 1,350 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 bath. And it's an outstanding investment. And just think about if you're a first-time buyer, maybe a veteran, you can get 100% financing here. You live on one side, rent the other out. And you've got a passive income flow coming in here on a well-maintained duplex right in Tampa. Great opportunity to buy real estate duplex for sale from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And, of course, take advantage of some of these new incentives that are out there. A rate drop recently as well. We've had rates come down about a half a point or so. Great opportunity to get into the real estate space right now. Let's look at 9914 Ala Vista Drive, Gibsonton, Florida. Another one of my favorite listings. This one is a waterfront beauty, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1922 square feet. You got an elevated stilt home at the end of a quiet street on a large waterfront lot. You're nestled on a canal off of the Alafaya River, direct access to the Gulf, and you have a spacious kitchen, a breakfast bar, abundant cabinet there. Also, bring your boat. You've got a 12,000-pound boat lift, 1,000-pound jet ski lift, and it's all about lifestyle here. You have your toys out back. You got access to the Gulf. You're out there fishing, maybe catching some mangrove snappers, some snook, some redfish, enjoying that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. You're fully solar powered here at 9914 Ala Vista Drive in Gibsonton. Solar power, 50-year galvanized standing seam metal roof, hurricane shutters, and professional landscaping. You can see all of our listings online and search the MLS at Platinum MVP Team. .kw.com, and you can see all of our radio and TV show expert contributors at consumerqb.com.
Yeah, I'm raising my glass to those saving our ass overseas.
Yes, sir. Shout out to our veterans and all of our awesome business partners and listeners of the show. Mike Murphy, welcome back, sir.
Man, I love days that I get to be on the show. It's just another reason to be excited.
Yeah, man, I love that. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of good things happen, a lot of positivity rolling into the new year. Man, there's just so many positive things happening. I think we've been able to speak about the military action down in Venezuela. Have we? Did we discuss that? Yeah.
No, that was awfully interesting.
Yeah.
It, well, first off, everybody knows my wife's Colombian. We have a vested interest. It was one of those we got Osama moments. I woke up at 2 a.m, looked at my phone just by chance, and it says, airstrikes over Caracas. And in the next 15 minutes, I woke up my wife. She woke up her parents. The aunts and uncles came over, the cousins came over by 4 a.m. They were having coffee and watching the news and celebrating. And it was absolutely incredible. These people are, the grandparents are 80 and 85 years old, and they had that same moment where it gives hope to an entire continent again.
Wow. Yeah, I get goosebumps thinking about that because, on the flip side of that conversation, so many people recognize what a travesty that was for the people, what a dictator can do, and just the sheer just the negativity around that Maduro regime. And then you have the flip side in New York. They just elected, so you have these people that are so blind, and many of them are foreign born. About 40% of the New York City voters were foreign born, and they voted in, of course, a communist that got sworn in with the Quran. And if you look up any of the information around the Quran, it's a lot different than our Holy Bible. But kind of leaving it there for that. But, it's a complete night and day difference. They're selecting that in New York City, and you got to think about the level of ignorance that some of these people have.
And it's just that. What is the old saying? Socialism is the best form of government till you run out of someone else's money.
Yes, exactly.
It's interesting. Let's go back to this amazingly sad statistic that the Caracas Zoo was one of the best zoos in the world.
Yeah.
Now has no animals because the citizens ate them.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, and it's the same thing that happened in, Minneapolis or Minnesota, where, they were eating you had the Haitians, I think it was, eating the ducks out of the pond and all that.
Eating the cats.
Yeah, all that. Right? Oh, my goodness.
I can't believe that came up. You know what? Before we get off Venezuela, one of the things that I don't think everybody really appreciates is that, as a country, we had the freedom to go take out Maduro because we got the rightful leader of the opposition out of Venezuela.
Right.
Now, that was not an American-sanctioned mission. That's these guys. That was Brian Stern and his boys.
Graybull Rescue.
And to think about the little impact just the huge impact that a little group like Graybull Rescue and Brian Stern, Tampa-based NGO, can have internationally is incredible. So we think of the power of just one person can make.
Yes.
And Brian, if you're listening, and I'm sure you are our superhero.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And the people that support that, and I know you're a big supporter of that and many other charitable organizations. And speaking of charity, you got a Charity of the Month going on right now.
Yeah, what's unique is Murphy Auto Group has a C3 commitment. We like to love on our community, our charities, and our customers. So January is all about female empowerment in sports athletics at a collegiate level. So we're focused on USF Athletics and Weber University's flag football team. Just in the last 30 days, the NCAA has granted flag football as a D1 sport.
Cool.
And you're starting to see about 20 to 25 scholarships per major program that's starting to build up. So this is great for young women. I've got 2 young girls. A 6-year-old loves football. It's one of those things that now everybody has an opportunity to play and go to school for free in a game we love.
That's a lot of fun, and it's kind of got me a little bit rethinking here about, my sons, having them maybe play quarterback following in their dad's footsteps. Because, for a while there, I was like, I don't know, just all the hits that you take and your body gets hit and but maybe they go flag route.
Yeah, and it's an Olympic sport. Flag football will be an Olympic sport.
It's really
now,
cool.
I can't wait to see Lamar Jackson win a gold medal playing flag football, breaking like Ukrainian ankles.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
But it's going to be special.
What an athlete! Yeah, what an athlete he is.
How we let him leave Miami, I will never understand.
Yeah, well, the same thing could be said about Fernando. What's his name?
Yeah, Mendoza. Yeah.
He was a heck of an athlete.
Who saw that coming? The quarterback that we saw in the Cal game 2 years ago against the University of Miami, where Cam Ward came back from 32 points down.
Yep.
I said that kid's going to be special. You get him in the right program, and then he went to the right program. And it pains me to say, but Indiana had a great year, great program. And I wish him nothing but the best. Matter of fact, I'd love to see him in teal in Miami.
There you go.
Bring Shula back. Bring Chris Shula would have been my pick for the Dolphins head coach, and bring Mendoza in, and let's party like it's 1972.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Mike Murphy here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Murphy Auto Group, support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors. And Mike, congratulations on the success there. Early success already up at Genesis of Tampa Bay. Man, I hear you're number 4 in the Southeast already in sales?
We're climbing from there. We're breaking the top 20 in the United States, which is awfully exciting. And it's a little bit about us, but a lot like sports, we're an expansion team. We're still learning and getting the right people in the right seats on the bus. But the way the community has came around the brand, I mean, these vehicles are superior to Mercedes, BMW, Lexus. We've had Aston Martins and Bentley Bentegas traded in. I used to drive a Bentley. I now drive a GV80 Coupe. That's for sale now at genesisoftampa.com as I've miled it up. But They are incredible. Now, you add that with our C3 commitment, with Murphy Auto Group's customer service. It's a superior buying experience, and I promise Tampa Bay one thing. In the next 18 months, I'm going to build you a dealership that will be first class in every way possible.
Yeah, well, you did a great deal for us. My wife and I are grateful for the deal that you were put together for us, your team. And I heard something, too, the other day. They said, for all your oil changes, all your services, we come to you. We literally – so can you explain that?
Yeah,
you drive
absolutely.
and exchange the car out.
Yeah, if you live within 25 miles of Genesis of Tampa, we'd love for you to come visit us, but we know people are busy, and we can go to your home or to your place of work. We drop off a service loaner. So let's just say you have a GV70. We drop off a brand new GV70 for you to use, gassed up, ready to go. We take your car back, complete all of the factory recommended maintenance and services. Of course, if you bought it from me, those are included for the first 4 years. So it's a true valet luxurious experience where we're here to meet and, when possible, exceed the customer's expectations in their own home.
I love that. That's Ritz-Carlton style right there.
Exactly.
That's high-end right there. I love that. One of my first jobs was at the Ritz-Carlton, so I kind of carry those examples into my businesses as well. I want to talk a little bit about macro economy, too, because I'm really optimistic this year. I mean, you see rates at a new low. There's so many – gasoline dropping as well, as we see. I think it's the lowest that we've seen since either 18, depending on which parameter you look. Things are looking pretty good. And I asked also – there's something like 31 groundbreakings on new manufacturing facilities. Now, that could be everything from air conditioning units to generators to maybe some auto. But I wanted to ask you, because I know you keep your ear to the ground on what's happening in the auto space. But I hear some pretty big things happening with Hyundai building a plant.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Hyundai, the parent company of Genesis, originally in March committed $21 billion to the U.S. economy. They've bumped that up in August to $26 billion. Yes, most of that is automotive, but they are having a steel and supply chain build out that's $5.8 billion in Louisiana. I believe it'll be the largest item constructed in the southeastern United States this year. So Hyundai's putting their money where their mouth is, and I believe that Trump made the right decision. We should be rewarded for building our vehicles here.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the old way of doing things and the passive, the Bush, the Clinton, the whole era of that. And then a lot of that was, it favored globalism. It favored offshoring. That's how we got in the situation where we're at. U.S. Steel, I think that got sold.
It did.
Yeah, I mean, what a terrible thing. U.S. Steel getting sold to, was it Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you think about that. But now to have that reversed by simply putting in some tariffs, putting in some common sense, policies across the board. Housing. I want to shift to housing now because the Trump administration is talking about the 401k now. You're able to access that. You're going to be able to access your 401k for down payment because a lot of people, let's face it, you have record student loan debt. You've got record credit card debt. We have an all-time low on savings. Savings is below the lowest on record. So Americans currently unable to withdraw from a 401k on first-time homebuyer purchases without paying a tax penalty. Those who make withdrawals before 59.5 must pay an additional 10% unless they are eligible for a specific exemption, according to the IRS. So U.S. housing affordability particularly has remained a top issue as mortgage rates and elevated home prices sideline some buyers. So that's a big one. That's a big one. You're going to be able to access that now, whether it's a week or a month, but that's going to be a big deal.
Oh, completely agree. I wish they would do that for automotive too, but I see the fact that those are depreciating assets, and historically your home is your appreciating asset. That's your nest egg. And what's interesting is if you're looking for employment, all of a sudden companies that have a 401k match just become that much more valuable, right?
Yeah.
It's like Murphy Auto, we match up to 4% of your annual income into your 401k. I'm sure other auto groups do. They probably don't. But it really becomes an additional benefit. Now you got to think your employer is helping you with your first home purchase. Let's say you stay there 3 to 5 years. What's 4% annualized with the rate of inflation, with the rate of appreciation and interest? This is a very good deal for the country. And I was guest hosting your show a couple weeks ago. We were talking about 50-year mortgages. Hey, that is a great idea too. The 30-year mortgage came around because that's about as long as you were going to live and be able to work before the retirement age. This is a really great time to be able to buy a home. And as you probably know, within 15 months of people buying homes, they also historically buy a car.
Yeah. Yeah, and they also trade cars every homes at least every 5 to 7 years. I mean, that can change depending on regionalities and things of that nature. But ultimately, talk about the 50-year. What you're doing there is you're making yourself, or you're committing to a lower payment, and then you can always pay more to the principal.
Absolutely.
So if you pay more to the principal, you do a biweekly mortgage payment, you're going to knock years off right off the bat just by getting that 13th payment in per year. So in essence, it's committing you to a lesser amount of payment. Arguably, less people will go into default because of that smaller amount. And then look at, in the state of Florida, we're talking about getting rid of property taxes. Huge issue right now. Just last week, Trump also posted on True Social, he said that he's going to ban large investors from buying and then renting out single-family homes, adding that people live in homes, not corporations.
Yeah, and that's interesting, right? To hear a Republican kind of make that position reminds me of Ronald Reagan, kind of outflanking the Dems there a little bit, because you would think the free market, you should be able to do whatever you want. But there needs to be kind of bumpers on this thing, a lot like the bowling alleys I bowl on, right, with the bumpers in the lane.
Yeah.
It makes a ton of sense to keep housing affordable.
Yeah.
And when a big company comes in and buys whole areas,
Yep.
I mean, if you look at what happened in Las Vegas, it was absolutely incredible. Like 4 out of 5 homes was owned by a corporation.
Yeah.
And who was the losers in that? The people working in the casinos taking care of people.
Yep, very similar here down in South Florida. We had a couple of big bubbles where people that worked in Sarasota, Bradenton, couldn't even live in the city proper. They had to live out in the country somewhat and drive to work. Very similar. So there is a reason and there is a specific purpose for government in certain situations to put that guardrails. You know, our founding fathers never realized they would have corporations that are worth trillions of dollars, like literally BlackRock, one of the richest on the planet. I think it is the richest company ever, owning trillions of dollars to be able to compete with a first-time buyer, with a veteran like our friend David Vargas here, our producer for the show. You know, veterans need to be able to buy homes, arguably before anybody. You know, let's put them first. Let's give them 100% financing. I think they should even have more benefits. But we got to take a quick break. Mike Murphy here, Murphy Auto Group on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Genesis of Tampa Bay. Check him out. He's right there on right off of Bears Avenue, is it?
That's right. Bears in Nebraska.
Bears in
Serving
Nebraska.
Everybody.
And we'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894. consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast.
Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at KW.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at KW.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rimes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, we're talking with Mike Murphy, Murphy Auto Group, Genesis of Tampa Bay here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I want to talk about also insurance rates because it's such an impact on our business, the real estate business, of course, and Mike's business as well. Insurances are coming down for both auto and homeowners insurances. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Also, free gas for a year. You got a 2-year lease here. We'll talk about that with Mike Murphy, Murphy Auto Group here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We've got the Weeki Wachee Marina for sale, 7154 Shoreline Boulevard. This is a beautiful marina. 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, 3/4 of an acre lot. You've got a waterfront business, irreplaceable waterfront on the Weeki Wachee River, access to the Gulf, multiple income streams, great opportunity to buy a business. You've got of course, the awesome property there as well. You've got multiple income streams. It's a Suzuki servicer with an motor repair business on site for your boating as well, and you have a fishing store, boating supplies, live-in space for a manager, maybe an Airbnb rental. 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee, Florida. Another commercial listing. Of course, we can help you sell your vacant land, your residential, and your commercial real estate. Check us out online, platinummvpteam.kw.com, and see all of our radio and TV show experts at consumerqb.com.
This is God's country.
All right, we're going to dive deeper into this next with Daniel White coming up. He's our insurance expert contributor. But Governor Ron DeSantis announces major insurance rate relief as Florida's reforms deliver results. So Floridians are seeing rate reductions in both home and auto insurances across the state, with additional relief coming soon. The reductions in citizens' insurance rates are the most significant in recent memory. Premiums are lowering because we've enacted real reforms and withstood the pressure to reverse course. So there's another big positive going into 2026, Mike.
Yeah, it's awesome, right? And when we think of buying a home or buying a car, it's really about total cost of ownership. Right? If it's a home, it's your mortgage, it's your utilities, it's your insurance. When it comes to automotive, it's your payment, it's your fuel economy, if it's an ICE car, or your plug-in if it's an EV, and your insurance. And I encourage everybody, when you go buy a car, to shop your insurance. So much so that I started Murphy Family Insurance about 10 years ago. We're about the top 70 all-state branches in the United States out of 10,000. And we really believe that when you buy a car, shopping your insurance is something that's very, very important. Those rates creep up. And if you haven't shopped in 3 or 4 or 5 years, I guarantee you're overpaying.
Yeah, and a lot of that was happening because of the fraud that was down at Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. The same typical suspects, usual suspects there in Broward County, Dade County. A lot of fraud, a lot of the bumper, incidents, hit them in the bumper and, raise your hands like, what happened? So you have a lot of the fraud. You also had that in the insurance space where people door knocking, saying, hey, we can get you a new roof, all that kind of stuff. So they had to put a stop to that. And there's some pros and cons there. Of course, I've heard the other arguments. But talk about your 2-year leases, and I hear something about the free gas offer.
Yeah, so a couple great things. Number one, you don't have to buy anything to win free gas for a year. All you have to do is test drive a new vehicle at Genesis of Tampa. You can set an appointment at genesisoftampa.com. And that same offer is available at Miracle Toyota in Haines City. So all you have to do is go to miracletoyota.com to win free gas for a year. Really excited about that. And what I'm equally excited about is technology, AI, everything's just booming so fast, right? If you're in the market for a new car, why would you buy a car and have a 5, 6, 7-year loan? When that car will be 7 years old 7 years from now, with a 2-year lease, you've got a lower payment than you would financing over 84 months. And you get to be back in the market in 2 years with cars that drive themselves, amazing bells and whistles. So learn more about 2-year leases at genesisoftampa.com.
Yeah, I love it, man. A lot of those cars are gorgeous too. Some of the different features on those things are amazing. You got to check them out. Go test drive one today. Mike Murphy, Murphy Auto Group, thanks for coming in.
Always. Appreciate you.
All right, my pleasure. Coming up, Daniel White. We're going to talk about insurances and ways to save money. That American economy is alive and well here in Tampa Bay and throughout the state of Florida. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rimes1 at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rimes here. Danny White joining us in studio. He's the owner of SSW Insurance Agency here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our insurance expert contributor. All insurances. Look, this is the time of year. You should take a look at what you have. Look at your policies. He's going to give you a free review. Take a look at what you got. We're going to talk with him. Also, Governor Ron DeSantis, a major announcement, insurance relief throughout the state, around 8.7% statewide average, a little higher in South Florida. We'll talk about those specifics as well. Also, California's billionaire tax. I mean, gosh, you thought it was hard to get a U-Haul coming out of California. It's going to be even harder now. So we'll talk about that and some more policies here, different types of policies as well, not just home and auto. There's some really niche stuff that you got to know about, general liability, umbrella policies for business owners out there. If you're doing any entertaining at home, we're going to dive deep into insurance here on the program today. A couple of hot listings, and we'll jump right back into it. We've got a beautiful listing here, some great opportunities throughout Tampa Bay. We have a large coverage area here with the talk show, but I want to talk about 12948 Twin Bridges Drive in Riverview. Beautiful listing. Great opportunity to own a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3-car garage, 2-story, beautiful home here at 35 square feet, quarter-acre lot. You have a open concept kitchen featuring tray ceiling, oversized sliders, and open to a large screened-in lanai. Beautiful property in Triple Creek, a great community, multiple pools, splash pads, clubhouses, fitness centers. 12948 Twin Bridges Drive, Riverview, Florida. All that with a low HOA fee. Now, it says no flood insurance required. Now, Danny, our broker, and a lot of the real estate agents out there, that's something you may not want to say. You may not want to say no flood insurance required. I mean, tell me about that. What's your thoughts around that?
I agree with you because obviously it takes us 5 minutes to pull up a flood quote, take a look at the property and see if it's in a flood zone or if it's not in a flood zone, right?
Yeah.
I always tell people when they're not in a flood zone, we do live in Florida. Like for me, if I look at the rain outside of the property, right, and give 2 or 3 days, where's that rain at? In my neighborhood, it comes up past my sidewalk sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that scares me. What if we get 5 days of rain, right?
Yeah.
No sunshine, there's no evaporation of water or anything like that. Like that can get really scary. So I'd say give us a call. Takes us 5 minutes, at the max 10 minutes with conversation to let you know what a premium would be. Somewhere like that, if that house isn't in a flood zone, like they're saying, you're probably looking at like $600 for the year. Your homeowner's policy excludes flood insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
So rising water is not covered.
So a lot of times we recommend, even if you're on, this is high and dry, this wouldn't flood, this can't flood. No, it can, and it could potentially be the next year. So for $500-600 a year, you're having that peace of mind, even though you're not in a flood zone, because we've seen those storms, man. Sometimes weather just does what it wants to do. Remember that one that hit Texas a while back? It just rained in the same place for like 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row. Remember that slow-moving rain?
We had that here probably about 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I can remember that.
I do remember that.
I was like, man, it was so saturated that our grass was turning brown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? St. Augustine grass just can't take that much water.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
But in 2024 with the floods and everything, right? I mean, there were areas there. You've lived in Tampa for a long time.
Yep.
There were areas by USF You had to have a canoe or a boat to go inside that place.
And it's just hit or miss, so you got to have the insurance.
My high school was flooded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people
crazy.
are cruising around in boats.
Yeah, it's insane.
So reach out to the show. We'd love to put you in touch with Daniel White here, SSW Insurance Agency, Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always featuring our listings on air. I wanted to hit another one just because it's kind of a unique situation. We've got a bar for sale here also in Plant City. It's 5402 West US Highway 92 in Plant City. We've got a bar for sale. This is the Finish Line Saloon. If you're an entrepreneur, you know the value of these COP licenses. It's the coveted liquor license there. You have fully furnished space. You got the lot, the business, everything's for sale. Jukeboxes, pool tables, those are leased. But you also have 16 taps, ice machine, 4 screens, flat screen TVs, on-site ATM. 5402 US Highway 92, Plant City. You can see all of our listings online at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And you can see all of our radio and TV show experts at consumerqb.com.
Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue.
Yeah, he's one of my agents.
Yeah, and he knows that one?
No, but they're building a huge brewery
Out by that way?
right around there. And there's
Nice.
an amazing restaurant right around there as well downtown. I can't remember the name, but I'll send it to you. It's awesome, man.
I love it. When
Yeah.
you see all this development going on, around Tampa Bay, property values are going to grow up. Interest rates took a major drop the last few weeks, so you got interest rates down. Property tax reform going on. Insurances are down. What are you seeing out there when it comes to some of your policies?
Yeah, I definitely like the way the interest rates are going, right? We're not dropping them down to 3% again and, going to get an influx of buying and all of that stuff. Let's gradually move it down like we're doing.
Yep.
Let's get people that need to be in a home, right?
Yep.
Rents are still crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? $2,300, $2,500 for rent in Land O'Lakes.
Yeah.
For a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, that's insane, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? But yeah, insurance-wise, I think there's so much competition going on right now. So many carriers coming to the state of Florida. All the reforms and everything are actually taking place. You said it earlier in the show. I don't have 5 or 6 people knocking on my door anymore to ask to replace my roof.
Yeah.
Which is nice, right?
Yeah.
Nice. I don't have to run them off anymore or send my bulldogs out on them, right?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
so we're definitely seeing some changes, and it's good changes, right? Because we want to take care, the insurance companies want to take care of the claims. If it's a legitimate claim and it happens, they want to take care of it, right? They want good publicity. They want good remarks. They don't want the bad ones, right?
Yeah.
So I do think that the reforms are really taking place. We're, again, seeing multiple carriers come in. Rates are being competitive right now. Before I have a rater in our agency and we may get 2 or 3 quotes back. Now we're getting 10, 15 quotes back from carriers. Right?
Nice.
And so people like options. So we're able to give them options.
Yeah, I love that. You're able to shop and find deals. And so the amount of drops in insurance, this is from a recent article, significant homeowner insurance premium decreases. So around the state, Citizens Property Insurance, around 8.7% statewide average, and it's even higher in South Florida. So, for example, Miami-Dade, Palm Beach, you're seeing around 13 to 14% cuts in the policies. And, a lot of it was because of the major legislative reforms, tort reform, sharp decline in lawsuits because they changed it to the eliminating the one-way attorney's fees. So that's been a big deal. Some people are not a proponent of that. It's a little bit complex, but we'll kind of skip over that for now. But I'm looking forward to getting a clean bill on the November ballot that says something to the effects of, hey, yes, we want to eliminate primary residences, homesteaded properties. We want to eliminate property tax there. And the naysayers are going to say, oh, well, how are you going to do it? You got to have schools. You got to have this. You got to have, all these different, government needs. But I look to the waste, fraud, and abuse. I point to that, and I point to the idea that we still have commercial properties, vacant land. You still have Airbnbs, rental properties, all these other asset classes that are still going to be taxed. And then I go back to the Florida Doge, Dave. I want to look at the Florida Doge there. You have $1.8 billion that was found recently in misappropriated funds. Call it waste, call it fraud, call it abuse. You have over $1.86 billion of wasteful spending that's been exposed. In Miami-Dade County, $302 million. Palm Beach County, $344 million. Right here in Hillsborough, $278 million of wasteful spending. And these are line items. You go by and you look at it, and what you find also is a lot of people, in a lot of cases, you're going to find people that were part of a nonprofit organization that were getting that every year. Oh, yep, we're going to rubber stamp $1 million to so-and-so because they're Susie's cousin-in-law or whatever it might be, right? So you can't tell me that you're finding that you can't find cuts in places to make cuts. And even if it comes into a situation where we're not cutting all the way, eliminating property taxes all the way, let's bring them to really record lows at least.
I'm glad to see that my county isn't on there and your farming area is.
Yeah. Well, that's the challenge with some of the smaller counties, like some of the, Inland County, Hendry County, where I'm from, some of these smaller counties. They're probably not going to be nearly as bloated as the big city. What is it about big cities that attract the, you see the waste, fraud, and abuse? You're going to find the kind of the snakes can hide out easier, I guess is the way to point it out.
Yeah. I want to go back to your point where, we're not going to make everybody happy. Some people are going to love it. Some people aren't. I definitely want to get it defined. I want to find out. I'm all about, especially, I've got kids. You've got kids, right?
Yeah.
I want them to have what's called the American dream, own a house, live happy, you know what I'm saying, have their yard, all of that stuff. So that's important to me, right?
Yep.
The details on in that revenue we're going to lose with the property taxes on homesteaded properties, where are we going to make that up? That's I want to know that before I vote on it. I really want to know where that is, and I don't want any small little writing on the ballot there. I want to know, right? And I think that's fair for people that live in Florida. They need to know that.
Yeah, it's going to be tourism. You're going to see tourism. By the way, a lot of these budgets have gone up over 50% since pre-COVID levels. So just since COVID, they bloated the budgets that much. Yeah. So let's take it back to pre-COVID levels and let's look at common sense. So where can you make up that revenue? A lot of people point to tourism.
Yeah.
Florida had a record number of tourism still last year. I think it was something like 344 million visitors just in one quarter. I forgot which quarter that was last year, but you have record numbers there. Also, big news coming to Florida. By the way, if you just joined us, Daniel White here in studio with me. He's SSW Insurance. He's our insurance expert contributor. Property casualty, of course, businesses, insurances, auto. I want to talk about business next, but also FIFA World Cup coming to Florida. That's going to be a huge economic impact. Some of the early estimations are around $1.5 billion in economic impact for Florida. You a big soccer fan?
I'm a big sports fan, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think that's huge. I've started seeing the commercials over the last couple of weeks, man. They've really poured some money into it. It's an exciting time. Florida's an amazing area to have sporting events, right? So a lot of open areas out there. So it's exciting, man. I definitely will, pay attention a little bit more than I have in the past.
I'm all about the economic impact. Let's do it. I love that. There's also a lot on the line for who the next governor is going to be. Because I'm hearing things like Byron Donalds wants more data centers, more tech, more of that. I don't know if I'm down with that. That to me screams EB1 visas. It screams to me, people coming from overseas, Indians and different folks coming, and nothing against the individual, but I'm just saying as a whole, I don't want to bring a lot of these folks from overseas. And then you hear of a candidate like a James Fishbach. I heard him on Tucker Carlson's podcast. He's talking about going back towards the agriculture, leaning heavily on replenishing the orange, industry, orange juice industry in Florida, the farming, those types of things. You also have Jay Collins, who was on the show. He's got some interesting policies, a lot of following up on what Governor DeSantis has done. So it's going to be really interesting and pivotal on who's the next governor to see where this whole state goes in terms of, from that standpoint. I wanted to ask you also about other policies outside of your property and casualty, your auto. What are some other recommendations maybe for business owners?
Yeah, so, it's 2026. It's a new year, right? We're beyond the holiday season right now, getting into full swing here. Business owners are getting ready for their taxes and all of that stuff. So you're taking a look at your insurance premiums, your building coverage, your lease general liability policy, your BOP, your business owner's policy and stuff like that. And so we're a full agency. We love looking at all of that stuff, putting it on the table and seeing if, hey, we can add coverages at a cheaper price, same price. We want to find where you're exposed as a business owner, because, most of us will say, hey, I need to get this insurance so that I can get this loan. I'll take a look at it and I'll read everything later. And what happens? You start focusing on your business and all of that stuff. So let us read that stuff. Let us make sure that you have the right coverage in place. Or if maybe you have one or two questions, we don't care if it's from another agency or not. We're not here to steal anything. We're here to build relationships and help out. And if we can put you in a better spot, that's what we want to do. Yeah, exactly. And you want to think about the policies that you may not think about on a daily. So, for example, I remember hearing a story. It was kind of a friend of a friend. The kid, they had a birthday party at the. It happened to be an attorney home, and it was a windy day. They had one of these big blow up slides where the kids are up top, and the kid fell down and bumped his head and had where that story goes. I mean, we live in a litigious society. So in that situation, you're throwing parties. You got a pool. You may be taking people for boat rides on your from your dock. What's a good idea for a homeowner there? There's event insurance out there, and it's not expensive whatsoever. We do lots of them for weddings and stuff like that. Most big places where you have a wedding, they're like, hey, you need to get some insurance or use our guy here, stuff like that. But I just had a similar situation, my friend, where friends were leaving a birthday party. She went to the store. She hit her friend that just left her birthday party. Sued her. Oh, man. So like people are so savvy regardless. If it's an event, the water sliding over, a car accident, a slip and fall. I've had somebody get burned by fireworks before. Yep. And want to sue somebody else. Yep. They put their hand in. It's just crazy. Yeah, exactly. Because they see that there's an opportunity to get a quick 500,000, a quick $1 million, whatever that number is. And they say, hey, look, why not? They weren't that good a friend anyways. At some point it comes down to a decision, and they're going to see the color of green. It's sad, man. And that's why the insurance companies a lot of times get a bad rap and all that stuff. And they're not doing that. Like, I've had 2 car accidents. You know what I'm saying? In my family, we've had a house claim. Roof was destroyed. They took care of it. They didn't know that I was the agent, until after the fact, right? So if you have a legitimate claim and it's there and there's not any gray area in why you're filing this claim, these men and women want to do their job. They want to get you back whole again and move on with their lives. Yep, just like any industry. There's good, better, and best. There's good ones, there's bad, and there's great ones, and let Danny White help you navigate those. SSW Insurance Agency. More with Danny coming up next here. Governor Gavin Newsom warns proposed wealth tax damages in California economy. So they're talking about this billionaire tax. We'll discuss that here coming up. And man, it's already difficult to get a U-Haul coming out of California. I can't imagine after more and more people hear about this billionaire tax. Find out more about that here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and
Hey, Brandon,
Spotify,
I heard,
or check out our YouTube channel.
Todd, I heard the
To
buzz.
get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online
it's
at
gone.
consumerqb.com.
Tired of long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation. Aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online. WillSmithAviation.com. That's WillSmithAviation.com. Or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, online at davidreynoldsjewelryandcoin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach
approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net. For all of your surveying needs, land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings. We'll jump right back into it. Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, 369 West Winds Drive, Palm Harbor. Beautiful property. Boaters neighborhood here. This is a boaters community. 369 West Winds Drive, Palm Harbor. You got a 322, 14 square feet, just under a quarter-acre lot. This is Baywood Village, a boater-friendly community. You have access to the Gulf, and you have your own private boat ramp in the community, boat dock, so you can back your boat down, go out fishing, catch some fish out there, enjoy that beautiful Florida lifestyle to the fullest. Baywood Village, true Gulf front community, offering an optional HOA of just $60. This is a renovated home. They have a large island in the kitchen, beautiful lighter color there, and well done on the remodel there. Compliments to the remodel team. 369 West Winds Drive, Palm Harbor, Florida. Another one of our beautiful real estate listings. And we also have 12941 Wildflower Meadow Drive, Riverview, Florida. Another listing in Triple Creek. Beautiful property. This is a 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, just under 3,000 square foot home. Beautiful 2-story home right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. This is Riverview. You have access to resort-style amenities, including pools, fitness centers, playgrounds, walking trails, and more. You can see all of our listings online and search the MLS at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And you can see all of our radio and TV show expert contributors at consumerqb.com.
What's the price on that Palm Harbor one?
That one's priced, I don't remember offhand. I don't remember offhand, but yeah, I'd love to show it to you, my friend. Cut you a heck of a deal on it. He's offering some incentives, too. So I wanted to talk to you about this new sum in California. That they have this billionaires tax, and Larry Page, one of the billionaires that seems to be leaving, drops $173 million on Miami mansions amid California billionaire exodus trend as wealth tax looms. So they want to just throw a 5% tax at all these billionaires, Danny. And the people have already left. A lot of people have already voted with their feet. So it seems like they're running out of people to tax out there.
I think so as well. Yeah. It's going to get tougher and tougher. I don't know where they're going to keep finding people. So
Yeah, too many people have already left for South Florida and Tennessee and Texas and other places. But yeah, it's a one-time 5% tax on the net worth of California residents with assets exceeding $1 billion. The tax will be due in 2027. So it's real simple math. They start looking at their spreadsheets. They're saying, man, I could go live in sunny Florida, or I could stay out here and pay these penalties for making all this money and creating all this wealth for other people. So sum it up for us, man. When you think about insurances and getting a review, here we are, January 2026. Things are looking good. But I've always heard, a dollar saved is a dollar earned. So there might be some opportunity for people out there. Get a review. Let Daniel take a look at it. Sum it up for us, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just not a one-man show, right? We've got 3 other licensed agents here. We take care of everything from your auto to your home to your business to your liability, overall umbrella protection. So at the end of the day, what we're looking for is just an opportunity to sit down. We'll meet you. We'll go over it, take a look, and adjust coverages, adjust what maybe you don't have, what you do need, where your liabilities are. So again, SSW Insurance Agency, 813-999-2195. we'd love to sit down and chat with you.
Yeah, great time to get into the real estate space. If you're not already an owner out there, if you're renting, a lot of good positive signs looking in the right direction. You got insurance is coming down. You've got the mortgage rates coming down. Taxes possibly being eliminated on primary residences. And also, Trump threatens to ban Wall Street firms from buying. That's going to create less demand and pull on the strain on that existing amount of inventory that we have. Lots of positive things happening here in the state of Florida. Daniel White, SSW Insurance Agency, and longtime friend of the show. Thanks for coming in, man.
Always, man. Thank you.
All right. Also, we had Mike Murphy. Don't forget about visiting Murphy Auto Group up there. Register to win free gas for a year just by test driving a vehicle at Mike Murphy's Auto Group there, Genesis of Tampa Bay. Hey, go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.